English teacher, part 138. As he explained the diagram using the terms compression, expansion, while the ruler continues to vibrate and push the air into the patterns of compression and expansion. We hear the disturbance as a humming noise. The air molecules push against one another, transferring the force of the disturbance across the air. The disturbance we hear as a sound moves incredibly quickly. 1,120 feet, 336 meters each second. He drew a wavy line to represent the sound and showed it, reaching a human ear. Next, Mr. Braun demonstrated that plucking a guitar string made it vibrate and cause a sound. Though the vibration was harder to observe, the sound was higher pitched as well. When the students noticed this, he explained the differences in compression and expansion between the higher pitched and lower pitched sounds. Remember, learning about the human ear, Mr. Braun put up a large diagram of an ear. How is it that we hear sounds? Mark recalled the project he did last year on sound and hearing. Using the diagram showed how sound waves are heard. After a discussion, Mr. Braun asked his students to get pen and paper and form their work groups. When each group was settled in its work area, Mr. Braun gave instructions. There are many things about the sound and hearing that we have not talked about today. There are questions that haven't been answered. Let's have each group prepare a list of the questions that you think need to be answered. We'll pool all our questions to find ideas for each group's research topic. Please record all the questions that your group suggests. When we put them together, you may choose a topic or start to work. Indirect instructions. Indirect instruction is a learner-centered, open approach to the education that helps students to practice a range of thinking skills. This approach is based on the premise that as learners mature, they need to take increasingly responsibility for seeking and in discovering knowledge for themselves, and to go on to draw conclusions from their learning experience. I beg your pardon, please. The basic steps of the indirect instructions involve identifying a problem to be investigated by student inquiry until a discovery is made or a solution is achieved. Indirect instruction encourages students to participate in learning process by taking advantage of their natural interest in making discoveries, suggesting alternatives and options, and solving problems. It encourages students to explore many possibilities and fosters cognitive effects, skills including problem solving, decisions making, creativity, independent learning, and interpersonal social skills. It uses such methods as Socratic questions, using questions to lead the responder by small logical steps to particular conclusions, and inductive and deductive reasonings, and stress personal motivation and involvement to promote understanding and long-term retention of the concept. Indirect instructions takes a flexible approach, freeing students to identify basic information and explore diverse possibilities, and reducing their reluctance to risk their giving incorrect answer. Well, we've got a figure for it, and that will explain the application of the indirect instructions. Anyhow, we've got the inquiry instruction, teaching through questions. The inquiry instructions of teaching through skillful questioning encourages students to investigate a range of topics, thus taking responsibility for their own learning. The teacher's role is that of a clarifier in learning as the facilitator who helps students to discover information and structure its meaning for themselves by making inferences and generalizations. This strategy consists of two main branches: guided inquiry and unguided inquiry. The instructional process usually moves from guided to unguided inquiry as students become more adept in identifying and analyzing problems of the structural solutions.